During my senior year of high school, I got involved a lot with theater. And one of my jobs in the theater department of my homeschooling group was to be a director, and I directed The Importance of Being Earnest. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, and I found myself lacking in many of the qualities that a good director needed, such as patience and orderliness. And I found out that through these lack of virtues, I failed a lot in directing and planning the play. Despite all of the failures I went through during my directational debut, I would say that directing the play was the highlight of my senior year, and it taught me so much and was the most enjoyable thing I participated in during my senior year. This leads me to the quotation by Oswald Theodore Avery: "Whenever you fall, pick something up." My interpretation of this quotation is that you should make the most out of failure, and I agree with this. You should make the most out of failure because you will fail a lot in life. It's just human nature and how it will be as you go through life. And the second point is because even though you fail, you have to be able to pick yourself up and to keep going. So you can make the most out of failure because you fail a lot and you will fall a lot in life. This can be seen through Anne Shirley from the Anne of Green Gables books. Anne Shirley is an orphan who was adopted by the Cuthberts, and she is notorious for making a lot of mistakes, which include getting her best friend intoxicated to the point of throwing up, and from dyeing her hair green. And whenever her guardians questioned her about her tendency to make mistakes, she says that she only makes the same mistake once, and then one day she's going to run out of mistakes. Another example of how humans can fail a lot is through the children's book Amelia Bedelia, where Amelia Bedelia is a maid, and she works hard for her bosses, but she takes everything too literally. There is one of the books, she is told to dust the furniture, and instead of taking a rag and clearing the dust off the furniture, she takes dust and she puts dust on the furniture because she took the command too literal. And because of Anne of Green Gables and Amelia Bedelia, we can see that in life humans do fail a lot. You should make the most out of failure also because you have to keep going and you have to keep picking yourself up after you fail. This can be seen in the movie Mean Girls, where Katie Heron has to keep going with her school life even after her popularity ended. It gets to a point where no one will talk about her, will talk to her, but will always talk about her. She gets over this rough period of her life by joining the mathletes and then helping them win the state finals. Afterwards, she is rewarded by going to the prom or homecoming, and she's elected as homecoming queen. You have to keep the point. You have to keep going. It's also shown in the musical Next to Normal, about a family trying to deal with their mother's depression, and at the end of the musical, the mom of the family ends up leaving because she can't deal with her depression unless she is without any help, so she could deal with it alone. And additionally, she feels like she's bringing down the rest of the members of the family. And even though their mom and their wife, the family's mom and wife is gone, the family still lives on, and they learn how to deal and cope with her absence. Through the movie Mean Girls and the musical Next to Normal, we can see that you must make the most out of failure because you have to keep going after you fall. This leads me back to the quote by Oswald Theodore Avery: "Whenever you fall, pick something up, or pick up something." This can be interpreted as make the most out of failure. And I agree with this quote because you will fail a lot in your life, and because after you fail, you will have to learn how to keep going. And I learned this during my senior year of high school when I had to direct and stage manage the play, The Importance of Being Earnest, which was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but was the most rewarding and definitely the highlight of my senior year.